Basically, I think for any spouse or partner, there's, I believe, a component of relationship is sexuality, and a very important point that men sometimes are reluctant to talk about or don't feel comfortable discussing, and leave those kind of issues to the women. And in reality, it affects your spouse's life because of the importance of sexuality. So they are fully aware of what the impact this procedure could happen to your life. And basically, what is a procedure? What is seeds? What does seed implant mean? And how will that affect our communications? How will it affect his life? And when we discuss it, can we? I personally believe that discussing it openly, if you're feeling any kind of concern, or in my case, if I have any urgency or anything, I don't believe a spouse that should be hidden. I don't believe if I have blood in the urine that should be hidden. I believe that those kind of issues should be communicated to each other so they know what's going on in your life, and because you're committed to each other. And to me, it seems an opportunity that can either make your relationship grow, and it can be more dynamic than it was before the diagnosis. So I personally think that the more you talk, the more able you are, because I understand, men have a difficulty in opening up in a feeling way, but it is really open to you at that moment to grow. And if you haven't had that kind of a relationship, I think because it is an end of life possibility, and I think men then start to get it. They get the fact that this trip we've been on it could shorten it, or could be longer than what you anticipate. So I think many spouses or partners have to be involved, and how they do it is their own technique and their own skill level. And many men have to learn that when they're frightened. I was fearful. I was anxiety-ridden. And I think you have to express that, because if you don't, you're just going to isolate yourself. And to isolate yourself in a serious life matter is really not healthy. And I think for me, it's been, I feel I've been very healthy, and I've been very fortunate to have a spouse that is able to discuss things. So I'm very lucky in that manner. A specific tip, one of them is, again, cancer to me shouldn't be kept as a secret. We're living in an era now that's kind of exciting. I think we're at my limited knowledge, layperson, we're at a very, I think we're coming close, and who knows, when we'll achieve some results in certain cancers, and I want people to know that I have cancer, I'm in remission, and I'm doing well. And I think if you don't have to keep repeating it, you say it a few times. You don't want to, because it is a downer. It's like what do you do for a living? I'm a mortician. It's it's the same thing. What do you have? But your friends know that you have the disease, and that how you feel. And I get sometimes maybe once every 7 months, how's it going? And I tell them I am not afraid to say I have cancer. And I think that everyone that has cancer, the more we say it, the more hope we give other people. That's what I believe, and that's one of my reasons for doing this. Is we are the walking wounded, if you want to call it, and we're doing well. We're doing fine, and brachytherapy has provided me that opportunity to do what I want to do. And there are limitations, but everyone has some limitations, so I'm very fortunate. It is not a secret anymore. It's out of the closet, and that's all I have to say about it. Don't let try not, a better way of placing it instead of don't, try not to let your limitations, where possible, stop you from the opportunity of living. I'll give you an example. I have urgency on an airplane. When I go, I'll be going to Europe in a month and a half, and one of my greatest concerns is wetting my pants. And it's very valid for people that have urgency, and it's very embarrassing if it happens. I've been fortunate I haven't, but mentally it is exhausting. And so we live in a wonderful time. There's things called paper pants. It isn't going to stop me from traveling. I will travel, and that's what I'm saying, is that I'm not going to give up what I have for that limitation where I have to, and I have a secret. I always sit beside the washrooms in the airplane, so I'm quite used to that, and that relieves my anxiety, whereas many people don't have that kind of anxiety. Your sexuality can be enhanced with medication. So there's again, we're living in wonderful times. We really are, because it must have been very debilitating to people 30 years ago. I think of those folks that had this kind of prostate disease or cancer, and we are very fortunate. At least I feel very fortunate.